Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. He's got Njoku over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 43.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there. And it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 32-yard line. A check on the numbers from Goodwin last week. 6 catches, 77 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
On the crossing route, complete. That's Goodwin. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play. Back to throw again. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Well-timed effort there by Derwin James. A sack from his safety position.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Now Leonard Fournette. Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Gay's kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
Now Brady gets away with one. Lucky, could have been intercepted, but it falls to the ground. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's third down.
Right, 20.
Shotgun now for Brady. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a room.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Let's go, defense. Here we go. Ready to go.
Back to throw here. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll look to throw here. He'll find Harry on the right side. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of the game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards on the play, first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. From just shy of midfield, Brady. And this is incomplete.
They had a good game catch the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Fournette on the counter. And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And he's got Miller. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the 1st round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future All-Pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
You have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And this is picked up by the Saints. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Saints to take over. They lead things here as they start 1st and 10, trying to get rid of that bad taste in their mouth from the loss last week to the Atlanta Falcons. McCaffrey. And some space here. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice gain.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Brady, he's got his big tight end, Fant. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind current.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position, maybe. Turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop me out here.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll look to throw. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 18. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, The first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. On first down, this is McCaffrey. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On third down, Herbert. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 for the 26. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up third down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That's taken on the 25. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Go now. Rock it. 18 Gator.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's the 2nd and 7. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. From the gun on third down. Herbert. And that will be incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
2nd and 11. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'll drop to throw, and this is going to be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
This is taken at the 15. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
But remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Ready, ready. 60 outlaw.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. That's Isabella open on the right side. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one, winds up being intercepted.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They'll set up a throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. On the right side, this is Miller. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They're going to look to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a 1st down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick.
Come on, fellas.
Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the 1st half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Ready up.
We got 25 to make. Bound to lose one.
Hey, Charlie. Speak up.
On 1st down, Herbert. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. George Kittle, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Well, so it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll look to throw. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and knock
down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, New Orleans. Christian McCaffrey. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Fournette, first down, still going. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Looking to throw. Going up top for Miller. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll drop to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
60-yard.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
90, Wolf.
McCaffrey on the counter, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Looking to throw. Herbert is going to fire one, and that's caught inside the 30. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 47 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Herbert looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. From the gun, Herbert. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Andy Isabella, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They'll run it again with Fournette. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are. Stay with who you are.
And he loses the football a second time. And this is picked up by the Saints. Look at the big man rumble. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Fumbles, that's how you get in the coach's doghouse. The first one lost and it hurt. This time you lose it and it's taken in for a score. It really hurt.
And about that doghouse, it won't exactly be comfortable, and it definitely won't be air-conditioned.
Milk bones?
None.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have...
It's caught inside the 25. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jesse James, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
They got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one good for 37 yards. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time... was well executed. They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Coming to you.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. 2nd and long. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Open man is Miller. He's got it. On the draw, this is Fournette. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Defensively, you've got the nice lead here in the 4th quarter. You're saying, if they want to get a run of a little over 10 yards, that's okay.
I hear what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the football a bit more here.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. And maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Off play action. Herbert eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
The give to Cohen. He heads right. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Andy Isabella was the intended target. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
He's got Njoku over the middle. And they'll get this down to the 10. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. They'll look to throw again. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
See what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Traquan Smith. His 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he tried it out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let him go out there with a little bit more confidence.
On 2nd down, it's Cohen, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
Returnable for Grant. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence that if you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
Okay, great. Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world. Ready, go.
Back to throw now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Goodwin. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second down 6 at the 45-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Second and 6. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Marquise Goodwin, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, Swift, and he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this one down near the 15. The tackle made by the corner, Jimmy Smith. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
On 2nd down now, Swift. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. They probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Saints, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return